I'm Emily Thomas, and this is the early review of the 2024 Mercedes-Benz E-Class. This is an all-new E-Class that comes with lots of new technology, a longer wheelbase, a little bit more headroom for the driver, and Mercedes says even some more cargo room. For our test group, we purchased the E350 4MATIC. This came with a lot of packages and options, most notably the 20-inch wheels for $1,950, the MBUX Super Screen for $1,500, the driver assistance package for $1,950, the multi-contour seating package for $2,950, and the Pinnacle trim for $3,400. The destination price was $1,150, which comes to a grand total of $77,740. Under the hood, our test car has a 2-liter inline 4-cylinder turbo engine with mild hybrid system that makes 255 horsepower. It comes with a 9-speed automatic transmission, all-wheel drive, and an EPA fuel economy estimate of 27 miles per gallon overall. I mentioned this has a mild hybrid system. Don't confuse that with a regular hybrid. What that really means is that you get consistent climate performance and fuel efficiency gains when the stop-start system is operating. In my experience, I found the car to drive really smooth and it handled turns so nicely. But if you want even more power and refinement, you can get the optional 6-cylinder engine. Overall, this E-Class will give you beauty and luxury, probably with a side of frustration as well. Personally, I envision using this for spa commutes and dance parties, but we'll talk more about that later. When you get inside this car, you're going to feel the $77,000 that you paid for. Everything is beautiful and luxurious, soft to the touch. It's going to be very enjoyable for you. The driver and front passenger seats also have really nice massage features, which I fully enjoyed on my commute home. Driving position is pretty good. There's lots of adjustments available to you. Your basic seat adjustments are here on the door panel where Mercedes usually puts them. If you want to adjust things like the lumbar or side bolsters or even those massage features that I was talking about before, you have to go into the infotainment screen. I'm parked right now while I'm making these adjustments and going through these screens, and that's what I recommend for you also. Once you've made all of the adjustments for your driving position, you'll find that the front seat is actually very comfortable. I did find that the seam here on the side bolsters cut into the back of my arms a little bit, and personally, I wish that the padded center console came a bit more forward. Short driver like me, and I can barely get my elbow on it. The rear seat is pretty spacious. I was able to fit 2 child seats back there, and one of them is my son's rear-facing car seat, which I could put behind me and still have plenty of room. Front visibility was good for me. These front pillars are pretty thin, and as far as the rear visibility goes, the rear windshield is a little too sloped and felt like it limited my view, along with the fact that the rear pillars are also really thick. So I mentioned before that this E-Class comes with the Super Screen. You might have heard of hyperscreens in some Mercedes-Benz. This is not that. The hyperscreen is one large screen that extends from the driver all the way to the passenger side. The Super Screen has your center screen and the passenger screen combined as one and a separate screen for the driver, which I actually like a lot more. The part of the Super Screen that extends to the passenger side allows for them to make climate adjustments, radio, comfort adjustments, all the kinds of things that are actually helpful and less distracting for you as a driver to do. So it doesn't really mess with what you have going on the center screen, like your directions, for example. While everything in here looks really nice, very sleek and high-tech, this is where your frustration will likely begin. The steering wheel controls are kind of annoying. Some of them are touch capacitive, some of them require you to slide, some of them are supposed to be pressed down, but there's nothing that really gives you any haptic feedback that you've actually pressed them down and made your selection. So you're trying a bunch of different things as you're driving because you need to use the steering wheel controls for things like volume adjustment, changing the media, even turning on the adaptive cruise control and setting your distance. And while using the ACC, I actually learned something new. You can increase the ACC by smaller increments than just 5 miles per hour. If you press the button, it's 5 miles per hour. But if you slide the button, it's 1 mile per hour, which is amazing. Some other things you'll experience in your day-to-day is the center console area. So there's this nice covered bin, which I really like as a mom because I like to keep all my kids' stuff out of view. And there's a spot here for your phone. However, it's a little tricky to get to if you have anything in the cup holders. Maybe if you have really small hands, you can get in there. So, not a great placement. Another neat feature in this car is this camera, which Mercedes says allows for you to do video conferencing on Zoom and WebEx calls. I mentioned dance parties earlier, and that's because this car comes with something called active lighting. If you go into the ambient light settings, you can turn on something called sound visualization. And what that will do is it'll make the light bars in the car pulse with the music. And it'll be something like this. The kids really enjoyed it, but when we drove at night, it was very obvious and pretty distracting to have the light bouncing with the music, and it also reflected into the windshield. So not too sure about using it when I'm driving at night, but maybe if the kids and I want to have a dance party in the driveway. Finally, this car comes with a lot of safety technology, including a rear seatbelt binder and end of trip reminder to tell you to check the back seats before you exit the car. It also comes with active brake assist, blind spot assist, automatic emergency braking with pedestrian detection and forward collision warning, and some convenience features like adaptive cruise control with lane centering and lane change assist. So that's it for the 2024 Mercedes-Benz E-Class. Be sure to check back with us for test results and more on luxury cars at consumerreports.org.